Hey, what's up, functional bodybuilders? If you're ever frustrated by your overhead squat mobility, then I have a couple solutions or things for you to be thinking about. Getting into an overhead squat is a challenging movement, even for advanced lifters. To take the barbell from this position overhead and to be able to drop into a full squat requires several mobility points. Most people feel the tension in their shoulders, and that is often where they focus their effort for mobility. Hey, my shoulders don't seem to want to open enough for me to get into a good overhead squat. The reality is that the reason your shoulders are under so much tension is that the bar has to stay over your head, otherwise it's going to fall. Now, if your chest starts to fall in your squat, then your shoulders are going to be stretched way beyond where they should normally be. The reason you pitch forward is not a shoulder mobility issue. It's more commonly an ankle or a hip mobility issue. So the first way to start building better overhead squat mobility is to tackle the area that's probably most problematic, which is the ankles. One common fix, and one fix I like for this, is to elevate the heels onto some plates. If I elevate the heels onto some plates, just like I would in a cyclist squat, my chest can remain much more upright at the bottom. And when it's more upright, it puts less strain and tension on my shoulders. Now, if you start with a large heel lift, let's say you have 2 plates underneath your heels, then you're going to start working your ankle mobility, and over time you can get lower and lower and lower to the ground. Also, wearing Olympic weightlifting shoes makes this much easier on the shoulders. My second point is this. If in fact you do have shoulder issues, then the wider you grip on the bar, if you take your hands all the way out to the collars, you're going to have less of a shoulder issue. The problem becomes when you go wider on the bar, you're going to have more range in your shoulders, but you'll have more stress on the wrists. The wrists are going to start to feel a little bit of pain, maybe tension, because now you're out wide and you're cocking your wrist to the side. So you can do heels elevated. You can take your your hands out wider on the bar to overcome some of the shoulder stiffness that you're feeling. And then the last one that I'll show you is this. This is a okay, the last tip I'm going to show you is this. This is called an RNT overhead squat. And this is a way to train some of the muscles in the shoulders to actively retract and engage when you're doing an overhead squat, which can sometimes be a challenge for people to connect the upper back muscles to the actual exercise. So you would put some bands around your wrists and then take the barbell. And this is just a training exercise that you would do at a light weight. So I would get into my overhead squat position. I have a little bit of band tension, and from there, I start squatting. That little bit of band tension is going to allow me to stay vertical. It's also going to cue my brain to pull back on the bar. And this can be an effective way to work on your squat mobility, your shoulder mobility, and the interaction between your shoulder blade muscles, your rotator cuff, and bar positioning for the overhead squat. So check your ankle flexibility, maybe use a heel lift. If you got shoulder issues, go wider on the bar with your hands. And then lastly, you can practice the RNT overhead squat, which is a way to engage muscles and connect mind to muscle in the movement. I hope those tips help. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.